All right, let's see what we can see. And we are we are live. Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy, the stream where we hang out with you awesome and amazing folks and answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. This is a Q&A show. It goes for 2 hours, roughly. Sometimes go a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. Depends on how things are going. But it's a Q&A show. If you have any questions about Star Wars Galaxy Hero, myself or anybody who joins the panel will jump in here and try to give you the best answers we can. May not be the right answers, but we'll give you our best answer. So whatever panelists show up, we will... you can ask them questions. You can ask myself questions. You can ask the panel questions. And the way it works, if you have a question that you want to pose to myself and or the panel, whoever decides to show up, hell, it just may be me, but whoever's here, whether it's myself or we have a bunch of people, sometimes we have a ton of people, sometimes we have a few, it's all good. Sometimes it's just me. It doesn't matter. Get your questions in. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual questions, comment, and or statement, and we will get that scooped up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Good morning to everybody. Give your greetings in chat. I will shout you out and say good morning to everybody. The word of my demise has been greatly exaggerated, even though I did 19 shoeys yesterday. So they came at me like a champ. I took it, and here I am in the morning. I'm a man of my word. Skywalker Vader, what in the hell are you doing, you freaky Vulcan Canadian turkey? What? Can you not? Are you drunk? Did you drink too much last night with me? I mean, I don't remember, but yeah. So yeah, if you didn't see last night, the Ram Bam stream was off the chain. Ridiculous amounts of hype trains and shoeys, and then we did the Heinze stream, and then that got absolutely ridiculous. So thanks to everybody involved. Contingent's now the proud owner of 4 more tokens. And between Dodger and Lucas, and this next Friday coming up, I could be in big trouble. But I just did 19 shoeys, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. In other news, so yeah, last night was off the chain, which it always is because you guys are incredible, and I hope you guys enjoyed all the shoeys that I had to do last night and just the ridiculousness. So that being said, the lore video's out. There will not be a lore video this week. I am trying to get stuff ready for Twitch, which I'm going to be launching hopefully next week, going full-time on Twitch. Jedi Academy will stay on YouTube. I will not be moving Jedi Academy over to Twitch. I will keep Jedi Academy here for you guys. It just makes sense. If we're going to do this, it's a Q&A show and stuff, and I don't want all the stuff with Twitch going on because I just want this to be, you know, Jedi Academy, Q&A, all that stuff. The regular stuff that we do on YouTube will still be going there. I will be uploading the videos. You still get the Old Republic with the boys on YouTube. You're still getting the lore series with on YouTube, and I'll upload the previous version or the previous day's stream on Twitch onto YouTube, so you guys can watch that if you can't watch it on Twitch the day of or live, so you can go watch that and have something to listen to. So all that'll still be on YouTube. We're just going to be going live on Twitch, and so I'm going to be working. I've been working yesterday and today. I'm working on getting all the new content and skins and all the new bells and whistles up on Twitch. Is a lot of work getting it all set up and understanding coding and how this works and how to make that work and all this other stuff and testing things and cutting things and creating videos and sound bites, what I want to do on Twitch. So it's a lot of work and I need the weekend to do it. So yeah. In game, the Grand Inquisitor event is on, so if you are, good luck to everybody on your Grand Inquisitor event. You watched the old Mace Windu video last night. Yeah, I've got the old. I tried a couple years back to do a lore series where it's just me, and I mean, it was just me talking about it, and it just, it was just, it just didn't feel right, so I just stopped doing it. I'm more enjoying Star Wars lore with idiots, because. No, I just think it's more entertaining and more fun for you guys to have us be trying to teach a bunch of morons Star Wars lore. So yeah. So yeah, get your questions in, guys. I can see some already coming in. And when the panel gets on here, though, whatever panelists show up. If not, it'll just be me and we're just hanging out. So thank you, Rob. Yeah, they were good. It's just it was a lot of work and I was doing it all and I was by myself just doing it, and you know. And I'm going to revisit that. We already did Ram do his maze video with the idiots and stuff. And yeah, they are good. But I just wasn't having as much fun as I thought I would. I love lore and I'm a lore junkie. But having, you know, people that you can talk with about lore, which is what I like this channel to be about. You know, a bunch of homies and homettes sitting around talking Star Wars. You know, just BSing. That's what it's really all about. So, you know, and if it could be a good teachable moment, then it is. And if it turns into something about the goddamn stick, then well, what do you do, man? That's the way things go. So get your questions in, get your comments in, get all that stuff in, and then I'll let you guys know when I'm ready for Twitch full time. I'll give you the final lunch stream day that we will be on YouTube. So there you go. I'll give you guys an update on that. So, but I'm going to be working all week on that. So if you need me, of course, you can message me anytime in Discord, and I always respond. I may not respond right away, but I will respond. But again, thank you so much for last night for everybody. The jacuzzi fun is getting ridiculously starting to get low. I haven't done the total yet, but yeah, I need to redo the total. But we're getting closer and closer. I think we're 2,500 away, something like that. 2,600 away. No, 2,800. Something like that, toward me doing a jacuzzi stream, which I can't believe I'm even mouthing these words. But yeah, once I do all the math and stuff, yeah. God. So yeah. But yeah, I'm alive. I'm well. I'm a man of my word. We're gonna get Jedi Academy in, no matter how many of the 19 shoeies try to hit me, and I did quite a few of those last night. 19 is a lot. That's a record for me. 19 shoeies. That's not a made up number. So there you go. Nathan H. Hello there, Ranger and Scaries. He's our first contestant. Glad to have you here. Of course, the aforementioned Skywalker Vader who can't seem to learn how to use the chat function with his retracted statements. Our good Vulcan Canadian friend up there with all the other Mushroom people of Nova Scotia. Hanging out, drinking, eating that poutine and drinking that good Canadian whiskey, eh? He says, live long and prosper. Same to you, my friend. Andrew Zani with a hello there, Ranger. Hey, Andrew Zani. Glad to have you here. And hello there. He says, who's the best fifth for the slug? And what omnis are worth it for his team? The only Omnicron I've got on is Chrysanthemum, of course, for JC. That added bonuses and protection is just ridiculous. And just makes him a nightmare. Much tougher team to face with that Omicron on. This is the only Omicron I've got on the team. The lay one's nice for Rays, but it's not one that I'm in because of how tough it is to get Omicrons. I'm even remotely giving a shit about. And the best fifth is a bow. Hands down. You can go double tank with the piggy. I've seen that team, and I've also seen I've seen the other characters will work fine. Like Rita will do really well there because of the thermals. The Boba Fett does very well in that team. The extra damage and stuff he gets he can one shot people, and he can be quite an annoyance. But he's better on the bounty hunter team. I just think Embo with his dispel and the protection, he's just that right piece for the team. So yeah. Skywalker Vader question, what does Foster's taste like? It tastes like straight ace mixed in with diarrhea. Yeah, it's not good. It's awful. I have to go get some more here soon. So went through 4 cans last night. Not my let's just say it tastes like piss with poison is my best way of describing that. LBC Rob, actually aforementioned. Thank you for being here, my friend. Darsign 1972 says, good morning, Ranger and Skewers. Good morning, Darsign. Hey. Says, when will CG address the Omicron grind? Every week is a new Omicron. It's hard to get excited about them when it's so long to get. I don't know. I don't know when they're going to flip the script on that. Just like with Omegas, the other Zetas. You know, those kind of things. Those materials were really hard to get back in the day, and then then the floodgates were opened. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know when they're going to address it. But they do, because they are really, really needed. But there's a lot of things that they got to address. We still got the signal data issue. We still got some gear issues, and we still got that's one of the issues there. So there you go. What else 73 says greetings. What else 73? Nathan H question: how does Thrawn rank for you as a Star Wars villain? I cannot wait to see him on Disney Plus. He's one of my top villains of all time in Star Wars. He's one of my favorite villains of all time. I actually prefer Thrawn over Vader. And if you've read the books and then other things, material, the guy is just, he's one of the most fascinating villains. You know, he's not one of those, you know, black hat, evil kind of guys. There is purpose and honor, and just, you know, he doesn't do what he does out of hatred or malice or spite. He's very calculated. violence is a tool that he uses toward an objective that he wants. So don't get me wrong. I mean, Thrawn can be a very bad guy, but he can also be a very honorable guy. And he's one of the he's one of the best villains I've ever read in books. I mean, Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire series, if you've not read it, it's a phenomenal read and you should read it. And then the latest Thrawn books, you really get into his psyche and stuff. Very loyal to the people that are loyal to him. And if they do well, he rewards them. There's a guy that follows him up the ranks and they're like brothers, you know, and because he shows his worth and is very reliable. I mean, Thrawn, man, it's his aid, man. He's got him, you know. And those are the kind of things. Even though he can be ruthless, he's also very loyal. He's a fascinating character. We had someone join us. Oh, old man Logan. Old man, look at my life. What's going on, Betty?
Not much. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Well, after 19 shoeys last night, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, 19.
Yep. Ouch.
Not one, not nine, 19.
You are going to eventually destroy your own taste buds. You know that, right?
Not possible. Too late. I've eaten the MREs.
Oh yeah, they're well, your stomach is gone.
No, actually, I'm very lucky. I have a very strong constitution, and I have a very, like, really strong gut. And then, of course, working out like I do, man, I'm just, I'm fortunate that I'm able to, I'm actually able to drink a lot. And I take care of myself now very well. So, you know, working out, the weight loss, everything. Drink tons of water, you know, that kind of stuff. So when I do, you know, when I do those, you know, Friday nights, I'm prepared because I've been working out all week and been hydrating, all that stuff. So when I get there, yeah, I get buzzed. Don't get me wrong, it hits me, but it doesn't hit me like like you would think it would, right? After 19 shoeies and drinking all that bourbon and 4 or 5 cans of Foster's last night with the shoes, um, yeah. So and I've got my plan. So just like I always do, I drink some pickle juice, and then take some Aleve, drink a little bit of Gatorade or water, go to sleep, wake up, and then I'm good. The only reason I didn't like last week, I didn't do Jedi Academy had nothing to do. Like I really, we only did a couple shoeies that night, but I had been where it was wearing that full Beskar Mando armor,
Oh, you were
and
probably smoked.
I was smoked, dude. I wore it for like 3 hours. So once I got all off and was able to lay down, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, "There's no way. I'm beat up. I'm tired, and it's just exhausted." And I just like I'm not gonna do Jedi Academy. There's just gonna be weekends. I'm just not gonna be doing Jedi Academy for whatever reason, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Jason Hobby's joined us. He says, "Word to the mothership. Word home slice. Word homie." I know you haven't gotten to the minutia things, but when are you going to do a Luke video? Feels like there's a lot to cover. Oh, there is. So the lore video I've been doing mainly, if you've listened to the lore series, I've been doing big topics, right? Like the last one was the Mandalorians. Before that we've done some of the Sith history. There's certain things that I want on the table. So when we get into certain characters, that if you go and listen to the lore series from the beginning, you get a sense of this world, this universe, its history, the different factions at play, the power structure, all that kind of things. So that when you get to certain characters, if you listen from the lore series from the beginning through, you have an understanding who are the Mandalorians, who are the Sith, who are the Jedi, where do all these folks come from, what's this, what's that. So then when I talk about individual characters, you've got a good sense of the knowledge and history that goes into how this, when I say something, you know what that is. If I say, if I'm doing, if I just started like the first one was on Darth Revan, but that's just because he's my favorite character, and I thought that would be a good way to introduce it. But yeah, we're going to do individual stories. We're going to do Crate. We'll do Talon. We'll do Luke. We'll do all these characters. Luke's history is, I mean, canon. There's canon. It's the movies, and then there's that's that. But the legend stuff is really, really. I mean, old man Logan knows you're getting into the weeds there, baby.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stuff.
Got to do a video on the history of the Gonk droid.
I know, right? I feel like he'd be more hyped to do a Mara lore video before Luke video. I actually did one a long time ago, but I will do. I definitely want to do a Mara Jade one. Speaking of shoeys, there's Contingent, who is now the proud owner of Old Man Logan. Not only did he have me do shoeys last night, but he still has 4 shoeys hanging over me. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He'll, we were we were made to suffer. It's our lots in life.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Contingent. Darsign says, "What is going on at CG every new?" What? Okay, Darsign question: What is going on at CG? Every new Omicron or character is broken. Reaver broken. Poggle broken. Can't wait to see how bad the new raid, if we ever get it, will be broken. I don't know, man. We've talked about this before. Ever since the beta program ended, there, Old Man Logan, a lot of bugs and bullshit coming into
Yeah,
the game that's not working.
yeah. They're just not testing their stuff.
Well, they're
It's just not
testing it, but they're not. I don't know. We know it's being tested, you know, because they wouldn't just put it out, right? So it is getting tested. You know, they
but
have
it's
to
not
see.
being tested to the extent
Yes,
that these
it
things
needs
are
to
being
be,
caught.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, God Almighty. I don't know. It's been a problem for most of the new stuff coming out, either Omicrons or characters. There's been some kind of bug shit with it, and I mean, once in a while, you know, you launch for bigger things like the raid. Like if the raid had bugs, I would get that because it's a big thing you're doing. And if anybody's worked in a corporate world, and most of us have, when you launch something like a platform or something, you don't know what's going to happen. You can test it till the cows come home, but you got to see it in live and then react to what you're seeing, you know, and seeing what's working and what's not working, and then make adjustments. That's kind of stuff I'm accepting of from CG. The characters, once in a while, a character here and there, um, but this has been a consistent thing on all of them. And so when it's a consistent thing like that, Old Man Logan,
Mm-hmm.
that means they're not testing thoroughly enough. I agree with your assessment on that, brother.
And somebody was saying there was a possible glitch in the new Tuscan Galactic Challenge because
Yeah,
I
you're
only
getting.
used 3 Tuscans and I got it. I
Oh,
got
but
the ring.
everybody's got getting momentum. But hey, win
Yep.
us. I was like, hey, I got it. I didn't even try. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
Win for us. Who else is joining us? Carthrick, the Whaling Cannoneer.
How we doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. 19 shoeys in.
Yeah. You still riding the train from last night then?
No, I did. You know me. I do my ritual. I drink my pickle juice and take my leave and drink some Gatorade and, you know.
Get your life together.
Yeah. And then I wake up in the morning and have about a 3-minute piss. And then, yeah. And then a couple hours from now, I'm going to have to go use number 2. And it's going to be awful, but that's just the way it goes. You know,
There you
19
go.
shoeys, there is a price to pay.
Dude.
You know all
19
about.
shoeys and 2 of those being mostly bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah. Not
Ugh.
good, not good. I prefer the bourbon shoeys over the Foster shoeys. So nasty. Every time I drink that Foster's, man, it tastes like shit. And then the problem with Foster's is it just you can't stop burping, and it keeps coming up, and you're just like,
Oh yeah,
good
dude,
Lord.
it's so carbonated.
Yeah, it's so bad. And
It's like, why do you linger? Why?
What of our bargain? But it's weird because, like, I'll go to the store to get some, and there's been days where it's all off the shelf. I'm like, who is buying? I have to buy this because I don't want to. I need it. There are people buying it in bulk. I'm like, why? Why would you? What's wrong with you?
There are just some people, man, who that's their shtick.
God bless them, man.
I've worked with enough people that they just get attached to one beer and that's all they drink. And I'm just like, man, I feel sorry for your liver.
Well, I've been working out, and I mean, I'm burning as quickly as it's going in me now. So.
Well, I know, but I mean, if you're gonna punish your liver with alcohol, and it's already gonna be in the system, you might as well at least enjoy it while you drink it.
I know, right? It's not like when I'm drinking bourbon or whiskey, I'm just like, this is delicious, and I can sip in and just enjoy it. This is just straight pond water going in my gut.
Right.
It's like, oh my God.
This is piss filtered through pond water, and you're just like,
I mean, you can drink it, you can live off of it, but it's not good.
Yeah, it is beer. It will get you drunk.
Yeah.
But
Jack Daniel says, "Good morning, Ranger." Reply: Jabba's Ami's facing Embo Ambi and TW, and he makes him really tinky. Yeah. Embo's great. He's really good on the Jabba team. What else? 23 says, "At least you're helping reduce the possibility of more kidney stones." That's true. I didn't know this. Remember, before you came aboard, Karth, was doing a stream and I had kidney stones. I got hit that morning. and I was trying to power
Oh,
through the stream. I couldn't do it. It literally, the pain was so excruciating. After about 4 hours, I went to the medical place over here, and so I was really dehydrated because the pain was making me sweat so much. Put me on IV, and then when I got done, they, so I could piss because they wanted to see if there was blood in my urine. Of course, there was, and pain went away. Gave me some pain medication if I needed it, but it looked like I passed it. But he said, I want to make sure that you're good, so I want you to drink a couple beers when you go home. Like, I say, what? Yeah, drink some beer, it'll help. And I was like, no shit. Huh. Well,
Sign
this
me
is the way.
up.
This is the way.
the
Yeah.
strangest doctor recommendation I have ever heard. But
But
I'll
it's
take
yeah, but it's just
Any
chemistry. Yeah. It's just
any chance we could work in a prescription for hookers and blow?
yeah, I know.
And I need that government subsidized if you could.
Yeah.
yeah, right. For your kidney stones, have beer and hot wings, and you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So oh God, Helly's here. It says, good Saturday morning, Ranger, and all the skewers in the chat. Hope your weekends are off to a spectacular start. I'm working as beep beep always, but I'll try to ask Helly questions if I can. No, I don't mind, just be busy with work. That's fine, Helly. Go Cubs. You can go check out Go Cubs. Go Cubs, you want to come join us, man. You can come join us unless you're working, but if you want to come join us in the Jedi Academy, hit me in Discord, dude. I'll get you the link. You know you're more than welcome, dude. What are you doing? Get your ass in here. You're a content creator. But you can check out Go Cubs and those homies on the GAC Labs on Tuesdays.
Go Cubs. I'm in the same guild with him.
Yeah, good guy. Speaking of another content creator that's more than welcome to join us anytime, but he's probably working or dealing with kids or family, is the great Tila Mad 92.
Tilo.
Yes. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Also in my guild.
Hombre. Good dude as well. And you can check out the Mad Awesome podcast and stream. You can check out Teal on his channel on Twitch, and you can check out their podcast on Mondays. And they record it live, I believe, and then there you go. So let's see here. The continue says, which books by Zahn do you like better? Heir to the Empire or the New Throne books? I'll pick Heir to the Empire mainly because that was the only Star Wars. I was right at that right age, like 14, 15 when those came out. I know I'm aging myself here, but when those came out, man, that was the only Star Wars we had. The only Star Wars we had, we didn't have any. It was the books, and those just have a special place in my heart. They're both really good, but Heir to the Empire is always going to have a spot. What channel is that on? I'm going to get drunk with you guys on Friday nights. It's real simple. We do the Heinzie pre-stream on my channel or Rams. We did Rams last week. We're going to do mine this week coming up, where we just do GAC or whatever in the game, and we get blitzed, and then we go do the Heinzie stream, and that's the Friday night Heinzie stream, the grid session, as it was aforementioned, formerly called, and yeah, every Friday, man, and it's linked in the Discord. So there you go. Ray Rock says, good morning, Jedi Academy panel. Pickle flashers, Wookiee strokers, coffee drinkers, and donut eaters. I think that describes all of us here pretty well. Well, I don't drink. I drink coffee. I don't eat donuts anymore. I haven't eaten one, and I haven't eaten a donut in a long time. Arthur and Old Man Logan probably eat donuts.
No, bread products. I try to stay away from bread and donuts and things like that.
Good man. Good man. Garth's like nom 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 nom. Garth likes this. Subtle Dagger says hello there. Glad to have you here as always, Subtle Dagger, and hello there. Nia Venom says, don't forget the Hand of Thrawn series. That's true too. There's so many good stuff. I like them all. Like Drax, what are the Mandalorians? Why are the Mandalorians? I would tell you, but I'm so fast. Wouldn't be able to hear me. Charles. And Design says, how much of a donation do you need to chug one of those full green cans of Foster's? $27.27. I gave a discount last night, so it's just I fill the shoe up, so I mean it's usually a third of a can to a half of a can to fill up that shoe, so still a lot of chugging. The Omnis are too hard to obtain for TW, I think. They're just too hard to obtain, period. Let's see here. Foster sucks. Yes, it does. Some people just like to watch the world burn. Yeah, That's true. Buzzsaw says, hello there. How did it go last night? I had to punch out early, but it was already starting to go crazy on Ram stream. I ended up with 19 shoeies, Buzzsaw. In the end, the world was a blur. It was a doctor, LBC. You talk about the kidney stone? Yeah, he wanted me to just drink a couple of beers. I was like, cool. You think Pfizer has a coupon online for hookers and blow? Hook me up, man. Shit. Viagra's, hookers, and blow. Oh my. Viagra's, hookers, and blow. Oh my. Oh yeah, a lot of hype trains last night. But the coupon is only good for big investors and members of Congress. Okay, I'm neither of those. Okay. Yeah, I don't qualify.
I knew there was a follow-up to that.
I knew there was something else. Yeah. Ellie says, pause work just to say a special happy Saturday morning. Shout out to my non-biological Spartan brother from another mother, Ray Rock. Okay. LBC Ross says, my roommate in college was from Kentucky and a real Star Wars nerd. He always kept me updated on the comic and posts Return of the Jedi lore throughout the entire time you're talking about before prequels. Yeah. I mean, even through the prequels, you had the movies, but that was it. You didn't have TV shows. Again, just the books and comic books, the games that eventually came out. And then in the late 90s, as we got to like Shadows of the Empire, and then as the gaming technology got better, that's when we got to Knights of the Old Republic and Battlefront and all those games came out. Then Star Wars Galaxies came out as an MMORPG. So the media started developing for Star Wars. So yeah, but the stories were always the books, and I've got quite a few of them behind me. I know Nev, our good friend Nev, has got all the books. He's a collector of the book. Yeah. Buzzle says on a bright note, the shoe is probably sterile now that it has had that much alcohol. Oh, it's beyond sterile. I don't think that thing is. I don't know what we do with that thing. I think I could soak that in a bathtub full of soap and other chemicals, and it would still be alcohol in it. Darsign 1972 question for the panel. I really like how CG offered the free pack of the 2 new characters on the store website. Even though I pulled a swab, and it's nice to have a chance to get 330 shards. Thoughts? No, I like it too. I mean, Skywalker Vader got 330. Bastard. I get swabs, but he got 330. So it's a free pack that you have a chance to get 330. I like that. Old man Logan, Carth.
Yeah, I mean,
cool, right?
there's a shot. Granted, it's the percentage wise, it's like 1 in a million.
It's like 0.1% chance
yeah,
to pull it.
I mean, it's still a shot. I mean, the 2 times they've done that, I got 7. So I mean, it's a shot. I mean, I'll give that to him. At least it's a chance.
I mean, it's a free pull. It's 1,300 crystals worth of a free thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you pull something decent out of it, great. If you don't, then whatever. It doesn't really matter to anybody. It's free shards. It'll take you 2 less days on a hard node farm to unlock that character now.
Yeah. And it's a way for them to keep advertising in the web store.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people, as they're playing, work, kids, whatever you got going on in your life, the web store is probably not on the higher echelon of priorities in your life. But now it's like, ooh, free pack, possibility of 330. Oh shit, I should go check that web store now.
I love Andrew's honest.
Well, you would think with the free pack they give out every day, people would be doing that. I mean, 100.
How would you not? 100
energy,
plus
energy,
the shards and it's nice, man.
Yeah.
Again, I give CG when they get things wrong, I crush them. But when they get shit right, you gotta praise them, and I do. I try to be fair with CG, And yeah, there's a lot of things CG does right, and I think this is one of them, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I like that they're doing that, and I give them high marks for that. There's some other things that I give them very low marks for, but we're not going to talk about that. Andrew Zoni, do you wear the shoe? No, I do not wear that shoe. That shoe has a special place right here where it sits and waits for more bourbon or indoor Fosters to be poured into it.
If he wore that shoe, his foot wouldn't be able to pass a breathalyzer test.
No, they could arrest me.
If he wore that shoe would be adhered to his foot.
I know, right? God. Let's see here. What else in 3? I got 5 for both Cal and Sear. But, you know, it's 5 free, so there's that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, your roommate was right on it. LBC Rob. There you go. Yeah. As I said, there will not be a lore video this week because I'm doggedly working on all the new stuff for our transition to Twitch. So got a lot of work ahead of me still. Got a lot of it done yesterday. I was with Ram Bam, was helping me through some things, had a little bit better knowledge on some things, and so we got some things up and running. And I was able to cut some of the new crystal things and stuff like that. I was able to, you know, the bits things. I'm getting messages from T-Mobile.
Biddies.
Yeah, we got some really fun ones coming up for you guys. So yeah. Neo Venom says, Ranger, I think I give Nev a run for the money on the Star Wars book collection, or did you forget I have read my own? Well, no, I didn't. I hadn't forgot. I'm just saying Nev has a great collection. I'm sure you do too, Neo. Much better than mine. I mean, I've got a lot, but I've lost a lot of my books. So maybe one day I'll go back and recollect them, but that time is not now. I mean, back in the day, man, I was just anytime I would go once a week. I would go to the bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, and I would check to see, you know, what books were on the shelf and stuff. And then it was always Star Wars, and I would scoop it up, and you know, if a new one came out, and I would check to see online, like when there was new ones coming out, I'd pre-order, you know, some of the books. I got a lot of them in hardback. So yeah. Oh, the man with the best fro in the business. Tumblo says, happy sexy Saturday, Ranger, Karth, old man, and the skewers. Skull, hard little skull action there for you. I know, you did make it, Fro Boy. I got you. He says, I'm here, I made it. You did a great job. Settle Dagger says, old man Logan, awesome job on the HNN podcast the other day. You and Pico make a great team in Sarah's absence.
Oh, thank you. I was very humbled that Pico asked me to do that. And everybody, again, shout out to Sarah. Beautiful little boy that she had. I hope she's resting comfortably. And again, thank you to Pico for that opportunity. That was a lot of fun.
There you go. Good stuff. Darkseid 1972 question: when can we expect the new raid? I get CG let us know to get us excited. It seems it's been a long time with no new information. Why can't they at least announce the reward structure? We'll get that in April with the next road ahead, Darkseid. I think yeah. They said they were still working on a lot of stuff, but they gave us, you know, just a heads up on it, which I appreciated, and to get us going. And I'm in no rush. I mean, we're still fighting our way through the TB and things. So yeah, and it gives us time to work on our teams and characters too. So I like.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Is that when they announced the biggest takeaway from that raid announcement was the fact that it was going to be faction specific rating.
Yep.
And then they changed the reward structure. So it's giving players a long run up to being ready for it, and not just a kick in the nuts about, oh my god, I got to work on teams I don't have because raid rewards. It's like, so they're giving us time there. I think we're not going to see it honestly until summer. I know we're gonna get the announcement in April about the rest of the details. But
yeah, we were saying May, June was when we thought that the raid was
I would be surprised if it's here, but you know, in April, I would more likely say it's gonna be May, June would be the more of the targeted area for that.
Yeah, we got the Cal stuff going on. You know, we've got Celebration coming around the corner too. We got all the releases of the Cal characters. We still got 3 more to go on that. We know there's going to be most likely capital ship at the end of summer, plus the announcement of the GL that'll come in probably September, October, like, you know, Jabba did. If they follow the normal cadence that they've been doing, and plus some other things. So we've got a lot on the table. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean that that's what they're going to do, but they stick to their plans. It's kind of how they do it. That's not exact dates or times. It's just, you look at the tea leaves like we always do. You kind of get a sense of what's coming. We do know another GL's coming this year. We know we're going to get another capital ship and some more ships. So, you know, we'll see where it goes from here. Tumlo, speaking about doing a great job, guess who's unlocked Grand Inquisitor and got a Reaver Shard on the same day? Hey! Would that be Tumlo Dry, the man with the best friend in the business? I like that. Neo Venom says, I even have in my collection an OG paperback copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Oh, and paperback copies of 4, 5, and 6. Oh, very nice. Yeah, that's a nice collection, Neo Venom. If you guys don't know Neo Venom, the crazy man that when he farms stuff, he farms it based off names. So he'll pick everybody that has Darth in their name, and he'll take them all to Relic or Luke. or Jedi, and oh boy,
It's so
Right.
nice they
Yeah.
put that Inquisitor event out again, just to give people another opportunity to participate in the TB for Riva. I thought that was solid.
Yeah,
Raylock, go
I
ahead.
don't know why they pushed it back so long for 6 months. I don't know why the first one was so long, but I mean, it's it'll go permanent in the event store after the next run
This,
in June.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
but I'm happy everybody can go. And we called it, Garth. We thought maybe last week it might come. That was when we thought it might soft
yeah,
come in, but I thought it was gonna. We both thought it was gonna come in then or right before Riva launched, so it would cause kind of like a panic farm, kind of
yeah, I
thing.
was thinking it was gonna launch sometime either during the TBs or during this TB, which it kind of is. I mean, the tail end of it. I mean, past when
Yeah.
most bigger guilds would be past phase 3. But it landed right there. We knew it was coming back in March at least, and so we got. And then there were other things that kind of gave that away, right? Like all the additional, shard opportunities to farm on all the different energy nodes throughout the last week, and so it kind of gave a indication it would show up after that. So, I
I mean,
mean,
we knew that was coming with all this the Inquisitor stuff they've been doing for the monthly and giveaways and all that stuff. It's like, okay, we get it. It's coming soon. We just didn't know when. We
Yeah.
thought maybe last week, but yeah, we were guessing this. So works out, and I hope everybody gets their Grand Inquisitor. And from what I'm seeing, because people have seen my suffering and others, and they know what not to do and stuff. It's going pretty well for them. So it's like, hey, congratulations. Ray Rock Logan, that was a fun show you had inviting Kate Gaming for the record. I tack last since I'm out 4 GLs to 6 or 7 every round. Thus, I need every advantage I can get. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
No, yeah,
The
thank you.
matchmaking.
That episode having Kate Gaming on, that was a fun one. We enjoyed that one.
Logan's like, talk to Kate. Yeah, go message Kate. She'll do it. Darside 1972 question: since the Cal event is an exclusive legendary event, do you think CG will hold it again as long as until the GI return? It seems too long to come out a second time. I don't know. Karth, what do you
I don't
this?
think so. I think it was unintentional that they left it so long. I think that they had plans for the TB to be up sooner, and it didn't happen. And so they wanted to wait for it to come back out to coincide with new TB, to have the push for Inquisitors to be a thing. But I mean, Cal is going to be a good character. Cal Survivor will be a good character, but he's going to be a TB Omi focused character. So there's not going to be a massive competitive edge to people wanting to push it for like a GAC or TW. So I can't imagine them holding that back that far. I think they're going to just, it'll be a good character. He'll probably do well under like Jedi Master Luke or Revan. But they're not going to sit there and Shanghai him into, well, you can't do anything because reasons.
Yeah. Subtle Dagger. Anyone think that we will get Bo-Katan's ship? It looks pretty sweet. Mando season 3. Oh, it's still in the show this season. Yes, she is. I wouldn't be shocked if her ship came in.
I mean, if we get a Mando fleet at some point, maybe.
I wouldn't be shocked either. The question is where would that ship go?
Probably under.
Yeah.
I don't know where it would go because she's
on a bounty hunter though,
Yeah.
so it would need to be a Mandalorian tag, which then you start looking at the question of stealing more and more ships from Empire fleet or the Executor at that point. But
I mean, it could go under a Rebel fleet, right? Because she's done stuff with the Rebels and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's possible, but again, the thing is to keep in mind with anything you see from new TV shows, anything you see, 6 to 12 months before it comes to the game, minimum,
and it has to work.
Yeah, like, and it has to have a home.
Yeah, it has to have a home. I mean, people like, wouldn't it be great to have these characters and stuff? Like, yeah, it would, but it's got to have a home. The kit's got it. I mean, the character has to work within the factions they've created, and they have to come up with a plan for it. So yeah.
Either the character needs to be able to like Tarful is going to be one of those odd exceptions, right? Because Tarful, there's not a Wookiee faction yet.
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
clearly are going to make one. So they either have to be the ability to push stuff. It's like when like everyone was like talking about Greer's coming to the game, the other companion from Fallen Order, and it's just like it doesn't make sense because what does he do?
yeah.
What tags would he possibly get that do anything useful? Which is scoundrel. I was actually really surprised that they gave Seer the scoundrel tag, but we'll see what they come up with. But
I
there's
wasn't. She was a scoundrel. That makes sense. Well, you mean tag in the game, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, I thought she was gonna be an UFA, so they gave her a little flexibility being a scoundrel
I
too.
like
So
that.
she's got some options of what she can do. So
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with both ship. If it comes in, great. If it doesn't, then okay, we'll wait for it. It's like Red 5, man. People are asking me like, when are they going to release? Whenever they release, I'm past the Red 5 shit at this point. I'm
I'm
past
so
all that.
sick of hearing that goddamn thing.
all I want to know is what the raid character is going to be for the new raid. I either want it to be the Marshal,
Yeah.
or I want it to be like Darth Crate.
Yeah.
One of the two. Because I either need something I need either more Sith for C, or I need something to help the Mando team be a bigger threat than the one trick pony.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the other thing someone was asking me is, I still think Satil. I thought Satil was going to be this last character, but it's Trench. I still think it's going to be Satil as the next Conquest character.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Fury, man. It's like almost a no brainer.
Well, if they stick to their cadence, it's going to be a character. Like they go 3 characters.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you, but
And I thought I read in that spoiler post that it was supposed to be a marquee event or something.
or it might be Galactic Chase. Yeah, it might
Oh,
be.
huzzah! The greatest event ever.
It might be. And that, but yeah, I think the hope is it's a character for Conquest. A lot of people are hoping that, but the accidental release, I think, kind of looks like it was like ahead of the Conquest character, but it could go either way. I would be happier if it wasn't a Conquest character because I really don't want to spend that much time farming a character again. But
Well, we're always going to be farming characters into our ship out of that goddamn.
well, I mean, but like it's a lot to do to farm a ship, right?
Yeah.
But the advantage of farming the ship, of course, is that you don't have to put the gear and stuff in it. You don't have to. It's just take it to 7 stars and call it a day.
And that's one thing that Pico and I kind of went over on when I was on the HNN is that we're kind of leaning towards that it's going to be a ship because more and more people are unlocking Riva. That's a gear sink. Trench gear sink. The Tuscans more gear. Cal Kestis more gear. So I mean, it's wishful thinking. It's nice to think of, but who knows? Maybe CG will give us a ship in this next conquest and maybe lighten the load a little bit.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because you're right, doing a ship. I mean, once you unlock it, it's there. It is. And if there's a character tied to it, hopefully it's a character you've already put a little bit of an investment in. So I mean, you never know.
All right. So get your questions in. Conquest. This is the cache conquest. This is where I get all my goodies. So I'm just hoarding Datacron material. I'm farming so much Datacron material cards. It's ridiculous. I'm only in Sector 3, dude, because I'll do I go through the sectors, but I'm knocking off feats along the way and taking my time. But I get to the for these big feats, I've been in Sector 2 just farming the shit out of it. It's like, give me all that material. Give me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting ready for the dusting, man. It's like that's what I do every single one. The first one is farm up the dozen crons that I need out of the set.
Yep.
And then set 2 is literally just
well, the second time around is the bigger ones because you're trying to get to those 9s, right? And then the third time around I'll farm Sector 2 and 4 so I can even get more up and get the other ones at higher. And these are other than the couple that we already mentioned with Datacron set, really just getting them to level 8. You don't really need the level 9s.
No, that saves you the data cache. Usually if you've got good stats on the first 4 rolls, the second 2 aren't going to be the end of the world for your account. And usually unless you need to finesse the rolls, there's no point in going to 9, and that'll save you a couple million data cache. So you can kind of
once you get the main ones, then you're good. Because I've got the Chupio one and stuff, so I don't need any more 9s. So it's like, okay, cool. Whitefly says, "Morning Ranger, how are you still alive? Karth and Logan. Good morning to everybody." And yeah, after 19 shoeies, I'm kicking it strong, man. Strong like bull. Clean living, man. That's how you do it. You work out like a fiend all week, so Friday comes along and your metabolism is off the chain, and you know, and if you follow the Ranger J 1999 pre-sleepy alcohol, super, drink some pickle juice, pick a couple of leave, take a little Gatorade, go to sleep, and then you won't have any nastiness when you wake up. I mean, you're gonna have to pee a lot, but I mean, them's the ropes.
It cleans you out.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, hello, Governor. Oh, there's Nev. We were just talking about you and your book production. All right, there you. The Nev is in the chat.
Tip of the spear.
Andrew's on a question: does zombie count as revised for DACA? Yep. That's why her health goes up at the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about books and book collections. Neil's Venoms was talking about his, and I said you had a really great one too, Nev. So of the books, because someone's asking me about the Heritage of the Empire.
Did you finish all the PayPal shoeies last night, or do you got a couple extra that you got to redeem?
No, Contingent has 4. He's hoarding them right now.
Oh my god.
Well, he's got his one he doesn't use, and it just rolls over to next month. So for the Patreon, but then he picked up 3, but he didn't use them. So
he's gonna wait for the perfect night.
He really is. Yeah, he really is. Dodger still has his Patreon one, and Dark Lucas has hit one that he has because of the donation he made toward the jacuzzi fund, which the jacuzzi fund's getting it's starting to drop, dude. I can't believe that. Man, you give the skewers an inch, man, they take a fucking mile, man. I'll give you guys the discounts on shit. Fucking left and right last night. 19, is that a new record? Oh yeah, I blew the old one out. I think I did 10 that one Friday. We were on Heinz's stream. So between Ram and Heinz's stream last night, I did 19. So yeah.
And he loved every second of it.
Oh, it was great. I was in heaven. Just pure bliss. Just bliss. If you believe that, I've got some beachfront property in Arizona I'd like to sell you. Nev says, thanks. I do love my collection. The audio book collection has come along nicely too. Oh, very nice. Yeah, that is really cool. I do like me a good book. I haven't had the time like I used to. I used to read just religiously. But the problem with me is like I get a new book and I'll go through it in a day or two. I'll read like 300-400 pages in like 2 days and be like, oh, that was amazing. Now I have nothing to read. Just like shows, man. If I could binge it, I will. If I'm reading, I'm binging, man. I can't put it down. Like, oh my god, especially if it's a really good book. Oh my god, I can't put it down. It's like, what's next? Oh, it's so good. Oh god. Mr. Bone, Foster's executives. What is this spike in sales in Birmingham about? We caught him on camera, sir. Seems like this ginger keeps going in there and buying all the Fosters. Get that man a t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Continue says, I use the beachfront property line all the time. Yeah, it's a good. Jakey, what's going on? Jake says, what do you think about the forbidden lightsaber move, Tricata, E2 short that was going around saying the Sith thought it was dishonorable? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm drawing a big old.
Oh, it's that's the deactivating their lightsaber during combat.
Well, I know what it is, but I didn't know that there was a YouTube short that was saying that the Sith thought it was dishonorable. No. The Sith,
I saw it.
Yeah, maybe
it was a cheap tactic to win, and a lot of Sith wanted to win by overwhelming might or skill, not by underhanded plays.
Yeah,
but there were
a
plenty of Sith who still did it because that's how they wanted to win. They just wanted to win. They didn't give a shit. So
I mean, if you played any of the games, read any of the books, man, the Sith will backstab you quicker than quicker than a snicker. I mean, they're evil. What do you say, Karth?
Well, a whole group predicated on like betraying their masters for power, and you're telling me they're going to have an issue with
dishonoring. They don't give
Yeah,
a shit
with
about that.
dishonorable combat practices.
I mean, they could
Okay.
respect their opponents, right?
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that they weren't going to do everything in their power to kill, maim, or destroy. There are stories of the Sith that fought someone and respected the hell out of them because hey, this person's really good, but doesn't mean I'm not going to cut off their head. I respect,
yeah,
yeah, I respect who they are and how good they are. But Darth Revan was, you know, like that. He would respect someone, but doesn't mean he wasn't going to be ruthless. Him as a Sith, are you kidding me? He sent assassins everywhere. Exar Kun did the same thing, man. They went after the power structure of the Republic. I mean, Darth Revan created, with the Revanites, they were assassins. They were infiltrators. He didn't give a shit. He was all about winning. You know.
yeah.
Definitely not the kind of folks you want to invite over for poker night.
Uh-uh.
I mean, as long as you like losing,
Yeah.
then go for it.
Yeah.
No, I like money. I'm gonna keep them off the invitation list.
I mean, that Sith in that instance, may have. I mean, every individual you have to look at who they are, even though they're Sith or Jedi, but who they are as a person and how they go about doing things. So, and maybe in that instance, that Sith maybe thought it would be dishonorable, but that doesn't mean overall the Sith, thought that. That's just nonsense. You couldn't find the Revan lore videos? We've got one. Just go Star Wars Lore with Idiots, episode 1, man. All about Darth Revan. Oh, Lena. She says, hello, I'm from Russia. English, I do not know, so I'm writing to you through Translate. I'm a big Star Wars fan. How are you doing? We were doing good. I think she was on before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago she was on there. Glad to have you here, Lena. I don't speak Russian, but that's okay. I can do Das Vidania, and that's about it. I don't know anything else. Potato. That's about all I know.
Vodka.
Vodka. Oh, we'll drink the vodka.
Evil substance.
Now we'll just butcher everything.
So we will not insult your intelligence by even pretending we can do that. So yeah, we're glad to have you here. We're big Star Wars junkies, and we're answering questions about Star Wars. Mainly Galaxy of Heroes, the game that we're mainly covering, but we'll cover lore. I do have the reviews out for all of the Bad Batch season and also for Mandalorian. No spoilers, so if you want to go check that out, they are spoiler reviews, so you can go check that out. Me and the Big K Cashmere do that. How do you like Star Wars 2015 The Force Awakens and season 3 of The Mandalorian? And where am I from? I am in Birmingham, Alabama. Carthrick's in the Northwest. And Old Man Logan, where are you?
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York, that's right. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Oh, I know that place well. So I do like The Force Awakens. I thought The Force Awakens was fine. But I try not to talk about the movies here because people are passionate about, like, either they really love them or they really hate them, and it just leads to anarchy. So, but Mandalorian season 3 it's fucking fire, man. No spoilers, but man, I love this show so much.
I have not. I've seen the first episode, and that's it.
You need to watch episode 2, man. You need to
That's what I keep hearing in episode 2 of that was great. Just with the new job, that's where like 99.9% of my.
I can't wait for you to watch it. It's really good, man. I mean, so good. I love it so much, man. It's just oh, I love it so much. Ray Rock, you don't have Disney Plus? Well, don't worry. You know what I'll do, Ray Rock? I do this for every time there's a series that finishes. I don't know if I'll do it for Bad Batch, but definitely the shows like Mandalorian, when it's completely done and out, I will show it in Discord. So don't worry, Ray Rock. I will get you squared away, brother. Nothing wrong with Little Anarchy, but a smile on the face of Nick. Yeah, I mean, it's subjective, Lena. Film and media is subjective. You like what you like. Like, not a big fan of the prequels other than Episode 3, which is one of my favorite ones. But we all like what we like. If you like it, great. You know, if you think it's the best thing ever, great. That's all that matters. Someone doesn't like it, cool. Problem with Star Wars fans is we go at each other because if you don't have the viewpoint that others have, it's like
How dare you like
dare
something
you
that
like-
I don't like?
Yeah,
We
it's
should
like-
all universally hate it together.
yeah, it's like fuck off. I don't have time for that shit. It pisses me off about some of the fandom stuff. It's like if you don't agree with the group think of what they think of an episode, it's like, yeah, but just because you liked it doesn't mean I gotta like it, or vice versa. You know? I mean,
Well, it's also a generational thing. I mean, the one thing that I've learned about when you get into any kind of debate with another Star Wars fan about films, check their birth certificate for their age. That's going to tell you a lot about what it is that they like. Like people in my age group, 45 and above, we kind of consider ourselves purists. Where the first three original, like nothing is going to surpass that to a lot of people at that age.
well, I
group.
break that mold, old man Logan, because I'm 47.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Rogue
yeah,
One's my favorite movie.
yeah, there are exceptions, but there's a lot of people younger
I'm
than
the
us
outlier.
grew up with episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah,
You have the younger group that started with The Force Awakens and went with these three movies. So it's, I mean, it's all Star Wars. Yeah, some I like more than others. Some I think are an absolute dumpster fire, and some I think are just masterpieces in cinema. But it's just it depends on how you view it and what your particular taste is. But no one's opinion is wrong. It's just different.
yeah. Dina says your favorite episode is Revenge of the Sith. What did I think about the Obi-Wan series? It was hit and miss. There's a lot of stuff in the Obi-Wan series I like. There's a lot I didn't like. Love the ending fight scene, but yeah. But yeah. I mean, Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan were kind of hot and cold for me. There's a lot I liked about those series. Like for instance, I love the Tusken angle in Book of Boba Fett. The other part,
Yeah.
the other side of it, it didn't quite work for me. Not that I hated it. It just didn't work for me. Obi-Wan, I love, like for instance, I love Obi-Wan and young Leia's relationship, but it drew out too long, right? And the Reva stuff didn't quite work for me, but I love the ending fight scene. I thought it was one of the most powerful lightsaber fights I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
So there's good and bad in that. Andor was just fucking fire. I mean, Andor blew me away. God almighty, if you've not watched Andor, I'm not going to spoil anything. You should. It is a slow burn. It's like slow burn, bam. Slow burn, bam.
See, it's
so
done right that
good.
way though.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what makes
Because-
it great, is because it's a slow burn.
I mean, now for viewing the content, some people had issues with it being so slow, but I mean, they can go kick rocks for all I care. It's just going to be some people are better off just waiting until the whole thing comes out so that they can binge the show. That's just how that is. Okay, let the cookie crumble the way it does. But everything about that show did things right. They set up the characters, they set up the situations to play out where everything was believable, everything made sense, and you felt a connection with those characters. It wasn't just, oh, well, things happened. I survived. I showed up here before you. I'm a monster on all fronts when I need to be, but then weak when plot dictates it. Things like that.
Yeah.
Just you kind of get back and forth on what the storytelling is. The storytelling wasn't consistent in some of the newer stuff, but Andor's story was very well laid out and
The
thought
acting
through.
was phenomenal. That speech, and I'm not going to tell you, there's 2 speeches in Andor, and they blew me away. I was like, what in the hell, man?
Mhm.
Oh my God. What's his name, the actor, when he did that speech? What have I given up? Holy shit. I had goosebumps, man. Just absolutely fire. And I will say this about Bad Batch. Bad Batch, for the first 10 episodes, there's some powerful, awesome episodes, and there's some filler. But the filler's starting to come back and make sense now, because I just know how
Yeah.
Filoni is. And Bad Batch, the last 4 episodes, has been absolute fire, man. Absolutely brilliant. So,
Well, and that's where a lot of this stuff comes through too, is that they need to spend time building up the shit around it so that the rest of it makes sense. And I think a lot of people just get impatient with that. They want constant, they're too used to the movie going experience, which it's 2 hours of just nonstop go 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 go. And now it's just like, no, let's take time, let's build up plot points, let's build up characters, let's make things make sense, let's get things going, and then we'll progress forward.
yeah.
You know.
It's yeah. But yeah, Andor just brilliant, and Mando, and they're different. You know, people are trying to compare Andor to Mando. I'm like, you can't. Two totally different timelines,
Hmm.
total different groups and what they're facing and dealing with. You know, so and I don't expect the Ahsoka series to have. I hope it's completely different than Mando and Andor, right? You know, Andor's that heist, spy, thriller kind of, kind of show. Mando's more of the warlike, action packed kind of stuff. And then Ahsoka's going to be the journey. We all know what it's going to be about. We don't know what's going to translate from it, but we know that the Phoenix team is coming back. So and I'm over the moon about that. Live action, everybody. Yes, please. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? After the end of
Yeah.
Rebels, I'm like, yes, please, poor favor. No, they should have a live broadcast for Celebration. They always do. I think certain panels they won't, but there'll be a lot of panels and stuff that you can watch. I'll be when Celebration's going on. I will not be streaming. I will be at night. I'll stream, but I'm going to play Celebration in Discord for everybody. So yeah, the Vespa scooters didn't work for me. Yeah, the Riva stuff didn't work for me. It's there's certain things, as I said, certain things, and but if that worked for you too, that's fine too. It's subjective. Just you ask somebody their opinions, like I like this, I didn't like this, and if you give good reasons why they didn't like it, you go, oh, okay, cool. I disagree, but I liked it for that reason. So, um, I mean, I always talk about this. My mom, she's not a Star Wars junkie. She's not us, right? But she's watched the sequel trilogy and she loves it. She loved 9. She loved 8. She doesn't have the lore hang up, so she's just watching and she just appreciated it was a fun movie for her. She just enjoyed Star Wars, you know, like Lord of the Rings for her. She loves Lord of the Rings, but she's not versed in the lore and stuff like I am. And she'll ask questions. Her friends will watch it and they'll ask me questions, but I mean, like, you know, I always get a kick out of seeing her reaction and how much her and her friends love these shows because they just like it. They don't have any of the baggage, like maybe some of us do with all the fandom and stuff that we're subjected to with opinions and, things of that nature. Yeah, Bad Batch has really turned into an incredible series, Tumbo. It's really good, man. Yes, well, Lena, come on. Lena, I've seen everything Star Wars that you can imagine. I've played every game, read every book, read the comics. I'm very well versed in all forms of most people here are. So yeah. And if you want to learn some stuff, Lena, you can go check out our lore series. It's on the YouTube channel right now. You can go there and when you get done with this, you can go listen and learn some stuff about some of the Star Wars lore there. It's canon and legends kind of mixed in together, but you get an idea of where these characters come from and stuff like that. So yeah. Ray Rock question: has anyone applied the Paga Omnom, and do you think it is worth it with Admiral Trench? Sorry, my computer thing coming into the game. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Poggle Omnom nom nom nom?
I mean, it's a nuisance, but it's not, I don't think it's worth
I don't either.
rushing to right now. I think Trench is going to be a much better Omicron if you've got it one laying around to throw down. I wouldn't fight with the other ones very much. And Poggle right now he's broken, so I wouldn't see much of a purpose to get too carried away with investing into a character that might get some sort of nerf or pull off or.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, my Omicrons are pretty much locked in. I've got 5 that are designated for characters. I got about 3 saved up right now. Cal's getting one for sure. Third sister's getting hers, and I got to get one for Tasty Baldy guy, Grand Inquisitor. So I mean, I'm putting those teams together. So, I mean, and we talked about how Omicrons are so hard to get, so you have to be very selective on who gets an Omicron. Unless you're a Kraken and you're spending, but even Krakens don't like to spend for an Omicron shit. So it's like they'll spend on certain things, but Omicrons ain't on top of the priority list.
Poggle is so low on my priority list when it comes to Omicrons. Like you said, third, I have 2 saved up right now for Riva. That may change depending on what comes out in the future. But I have 2 in the bank, and They are, even for people at, 10.5 million. That is a premium resource that is not easily attainable. And
No.
you got to be careful where you put it, because you make that one mistake. And I mean, Lord knows how much time you just lost putting an Omicron on a tune that may not work the way you thought it was going to.
Yeah, absolutely. Lena, I personally liked the first season of Visions. It's an interesting look at the second season of and the second season of Andor. Are you waiting for? Oh yeah, we were all on pins and needles for Andor, but that's not coming out till what, 2024 at least. Visions, I loved. There's some of the Visions were really really good. I think 1, 4, 5, and the last two. But I'm an anime junkie, Lena, so I've seen over 2,000 animes and read mangas, so that's my other bag is anime. I'm an anime whore, and so I love that style of art. So, and I love seeing it in Star Wars. The first one with that old Seven Samurai feel that they did, Jesus Christ, it was so good. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff from Visions, and I'm excited because Visions should be out soon, right? The second season. I'm not. Someone look that up. Jake, what do you think about the Mandalorian counter to Reva? I don't know about the Mandalorian. I haven't seen enough Revas. I mean, Garth, you know about this? Old Man Logan, you guys heard about this? What's up with this?
I haven't heard anything about this yet. No.
Oh, it's it's
Maul DeLoreans.
Maul Mandos with what?
Oh, okay.
So it's you just proc the frenzy, and
go to town
twice. You put you dispel the taunt on Reva, and then because she doesn't have the reactive taunt like Ninth Sister does, so you can just work around her, go kill Grand Inquisitor, and then from there it's fairly easy to get around.
So would be putting,
or maybe they use the weapon tech on Maul and they just blow up Reva. I don't remember. I know it works.
Would putting Ninth Sister in that lineup screw that up?
I would need to go read kits because it depends on what the priority is. If the priority is getting rid of Reva as fast as possible, then if she's going to taunt the entire time, you don't really care, right?
Right.
You're just gonna deal with her being who she is. If you can get the weapon tech on Maul and kill Reva, her two other revives don't mean anything.
Yeah.
So,
wait, more to be learned. Maximus question: in order, what are the top 8 Relic 9 must-haves? Well, Jedi Master Luke's definitely one of them.
I like these topics. I love these topics.
What would be the other 7? What do you guys think? I know Luke's top of the list there. What would be the other 7 Relic 9? It's going to be mainly tanks and stuff, right?
Yeah, I've been very choosy about my Relic 9s.
I did Bosk, I did Malgus.
For certain events.
Yeah.
I put Jabba to Relic 9, Lord Vader to Relic 9, Jedi Master Luke 9, Sith Eternal Emperor 9, Bosk I put to 9, Nine Sisters 9, Malak is 9, Darth Malgus is 9, Kersantin is 9.
Yeah.
Tanks
benefit from it the most.
Tanks are I'm seriously debating putting Stormtrooper Han to 9.
Like, for instance, Jabba does get a boost, so and Rey gets a boost because they're GLs. Like, if you put one on a GL, I would say JML, Lord Vader, Rey get a really nice boost from their kits for that. But outside of that, like SLKR doesn't really get much from it. C doesn't really get much from it.
Attackers don't get really anything. Not much.
Only the GLs because they get that
special
extra.
Attackers. Special attackers get more than physical attackers do because just of how the way that works. So you can kind of make an argument for that loosely. But realistically, the top 8 GLs, or the top 8 is basically going to be the GLs that benefit the most from mastery multipliers.
Right.
So it's like Lord Vader benefits because when he drains mastery to bring up his own, he concludes himself. So having the entire squad at high mastery or high relic levels is important. But I mean, once you start working, if you want to push past the GL conversation, because I feel like it's a no-brainer, they're going to take up the top 5 out of the top 8, is you need to start looking at what characters have the most impactful counterparts or game mechanics to go with that. And so a lot of that's going to come down to like GK is not only a tank, he's also a capital ship pilot that, pushing the negotiator a little faster is good, because for people to counter with Empire effectively, they need to have similar better relic levels than you. So it's a tit and tat kind of stuff that kind of gives you a competitive edge for lower investment than what your opponent needs to use to get through it. But I mean, the majority of what you're going to see in that top list are going to be GLs, ship pilots, and then tanks. And then, I mean, tanks are just going to be which ones are you using the most and that would benefit from the most. I mean, Ninth Sister's a great one to have up there. Now it's going to be a little bit moot, but I mean, she can still go under Vader after it's done.
Yep.
Well, Malgus is another one because he's a tank plus he's a legendary and he's a leader, so
so Malgus is a great one for that too. Malik I have mixed feelings on. I love Malik, but it's like he's really thick, but it doesn't change the gas counter.
No, it does. Right? It doesn't. No, you're right.
So it's like it's one of those things where it's like there are certain things that I love. You're not going to be able to cheese bounty hunters as easily because his health pool is massive, right? You just got a lot more things to work around with an R9 Malik, but it doesn't change the standard counters. Like that's like when everyone was like, "Oh, set to R9 changes troopers, the trooper counter to DR." Well, a little. You just take a different trooper.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, how dare I do something easy? So it's things like that. But like you look at look at the meta teams, and then look at their tanks. Like Royal Guard is a fantastic R9 tank. That guy is going to do great things for the squad. He's going to help Lord Vader ramp faster. He's also a pilot. Solid choices across the world to get him to R9. And then there's other tanks, that just do the same thing. They benefit the squad in a massive capacity. Having a thick tank makes it really hard to get around and get through stuff. It's hard to say what the top 8 are going to be because it all is dependent on what your roster has available. Because I mean, like I could put Malgus in top 8 if you don't have them, or you don't need the Sith team. It's not really worth it. But R9s are also hard to come across, so it's hard to. Well, hard to say.
He's not a pilot, but I thought putting Kersant into Relic 9 just to accompany.
Oh my God, he makes plus the Omicron and JC just ridiculous.
He's so thick. You just pound away at him all day, and he doesn't even flinch.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's there's always those caveats of what counters are like working currently, because that's always been my rub with it, is that Datacrons really kind of negate Omicrons to a degree, because it's like this last set 6, the Chrysanthemum Army was amazing right up until set 6 came out, and then you're like, oh, well, I can just use Cat to kill you instantly, and I don't care how well modded or how high relic level your Chrysanthemum is, he's dead permanently.
Yeah.
And so the revive means nothing, the extra protection and stuff means nothing. It all goes right out the window. But in another month, it'll come back. And so, but we don't know if there's gonna be something that's gonna support that to make it better or worse or left or right, up, down, center, doesn't matter. So it's like, it's hard for me to tell people explicitly what to invest in that doesn't have universal application. So it's like, you can't go wrong with GLs. You can't go wrong with capital ship pilots, and even some of the other pilots. There just are some other pilots that do well at high relic levels because they just screw up other counters. But outside of that, the tanks are more selective. What teams do you need to reinforce the most? What teams benefit from having characters at high relic levels or high mastery levels? So
there you
go. Those kind of things.
This is the way. LBC Rob says, good morning, Desi. Hello, Desi. Desi was doing those sexy countdowns last night for every goddamn shoey I was doing. Oh, lordy, so many shoeys. LBC says, I have 118 Omnicrons. The biggest reason I have that many is because I don't waste them on territory war tunes. And that's okay. I mean, so if you're not in a guild that does heavy TW, and even if you are, like we're competitive in TW, but you want to be smart about the TW Omicrons. Like some like Jahani, for instance, great TW Omicron. I did the one on Ahsoka because I have her at Relegate now, and I put it on because she can just murderize. And with Cal coming in with his Omicron, you're damn right I'm gonna
Oh
put
yeah.
that on. You know, so
Oh my
that's
god,
going
dude.
on. Yeah, that's gonna be
Seer on
gross.
defense is gonna be just a monster.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be rough to get past.
but that's the
It's
level
gonna be
me, Old Man
rough.
Logan, and Carth are at. We have to think about like which, Omicrons we want to place where. But if you're at a lower GP range and you're still working on your characters and TW's not that big a deal, and you're still getting your roster up, you may have a different perspective of like, do I want to put these Omicrons for TW, right? So
Well,
go ahead.
the shorter answer is that there is a much shorter list of impactful TW crons than there is of GAC Omicrons. Because it's very rare we get something like Juhani or Droidica or
No, you're
trying to
not.
think
You're not
through,
smug at all, Rob. I don't think you are at all. I think you're
but
just, you're just being
there
very careful, and I don't blame
there's
you.
it's just very, very, very rare that you get something that's like one character gets the buff and the team becomes a menace to deal with, right? Like GG with Droidica went from you can just roll over it with a half dozen teams to if you do not have something that prevents revives, you're gonna struggle. So I mean, a lot of the bigger guilds are using gas to counter that. So if you had a full guild with GG Droidica armies and put like, CLS behind it, okay, you're going to get really ugly banners in the next wall or going to have to overkill it to get through it. So, I mean, there are some that are like massively just they change the landscape by mere existence. And then there's other ones where it's like we have every single Omi on every single Inquisitor leadership. And I mean this, and every single one of them. I don't even care if you throw in Grand Inquisitor. They're useless in TW.
Yes.
Yep.
They're useless.
Not they are.
Because now with Riva, she's the better leader in both game modes. Because, design kit's better, CG. You have an Omicron that basically means nothing now because and I'm upset that now that I've had the 9 months of utility, sure, but it's not been impactful. It just sucks that they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to turn Grand Inquisitor into a turn 1 nuke under Riva lead, or you can slug it out the long way. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this is such but I mean, anyways, to stay up more to the point is that the TW Omicrons 9 times out of 10 feel like novelties. They are just ways to improve a team slightly.
Yes.
Where
some are impactful, like the Ahsoka one, but you have to invest in it though, right? For that to be a thing. The Phasma's fine, but it's still very beatable. The Juhani one is really good. Mar Jade's is really good. So,
well, some of those, what they do offensively are great. Like Phasma on offense is fantastic. You can take low tier, well, not low tier, but you can take the back end burner of First Order and beat a team.
Yeah.
You can do on defense. You gotta have Hux with her and probably Sith Trooper. You gotta have something that keeps that turn meter on your side and not your opponent's. But just things like that. There are just so many things where it's like little things here and there are good. Where GAC is, I always am a big proponent of putting people focusing on their GAC stuff because that's your crystal income, that's a lot of your reward income, that's a lot of your where a lot of people get personal enjoyment out of the game is how they perform in GAC. So there's a lot of things.
We do TW 4 times a month.
Yeah.
It's just not something that I'll make some investments in, but I'm mainly more concerned when we go into TW, like relics, datacrons is more important to me than
and that's the other thing.
Omicrons.
I think the implementation of datacrons into that now is like what you said earlier, Karth. In some respects, datacrons almost negate omicrons, and
when
they
you're setting up defensive walls, the other thing is, unless you're a very dedicated guild, it is tough to get everybody on board to dedicate one Omicron on a specific tune for a specific defensive wall, and to get everybody on board and to have a good sales pitch on why this is valid, that's difficult.
It's
Yeah.
extremely difficult.
Back in my old guild, we started making
Thanks for being here,
Omicron
Lena.
recommend.
Appreciate you. Sorry, I had to. She's leaving,
That's
so I'm
right.
saying
Oh,
goodbye.
you're good.
Bye,
It-
Lena. Have a good one.
It's it's that we started making requirements out of it to a small degree. You know, like, hey, we want you guys to get the Mara Jade and Juhani Omicrons and start working on those who have first order, start working on getting on Phasma, as goals, not like, you got to do it next. It's your next Omicron, you got to have it. But it does become a challenge. But Datacrons, it's the stats, the sheer stat walls on Datacrons can negate most of the Omicrons, unless the Omicron's adding a unique ability like what Droideka adds, which is the damage immunity, and while they have damage immunity, they don't have like this the sheer stats that they add on Datacrons just like negate so many things. You know what's going to be hard to get through? Pick a team, put 300% defense on it. That's going to be an annoying team to get through.
Or
If
the
you
Lord
don't-
Vader 99 dodge walls.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
or the Lord Vader 300 or 7,000% health steal walls.
Yeah.
I mean, we all lived through that hell a couple of times now, and there's just these mechanics that they basically negate the investment, and I think that's a thing that CG needs to factor more into when they bring in TW crons to the game, is that what's worth the investment and what's not. And I kind of think that the way they're headed there is kind of getting better. I'm not a huge fan of Cal's the new Cal's scavenger Omicron, because I'm a little upset that it does nothing besides
Yeah.
activate fulcrums. And I kind of feel like I get why that's crazy good for fulcrum to be that in a full team. That's insane. But at the same stride, it means that if I don't have fulcrum, I mean, you don't put the Omicron down, but the character doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I would prefer if it gave him some stats or something,
Yeah, some
or
stats along with it, or something
but
else.
I don't like the idea of an Omicron that sole intention is to unlock another character's Omicron. I would like it at least to have some benefit to the character itself. Because I don't like the idea of tandem. I think it's just a shitty way to make you double dip.
Holy shit, man. It is March 25th and it is snowing.
It is March 25th and it's 80 degrees here. Suck it.
You know what's funny? It's March 25th, and California just came out today and said that with the amount of snow they've gotten in the last month, they might keep the resorts open until fucking June.
Oh my
That
god.
would be hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. I mean, good for the people that ski, but holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, you guys just had a complete 180 on your complete lifestyle changes, right?
Yeah.
Christ, ski. My knees are shot. You wouldn't catch me on a set of skis.
Yeah, my
You wouldn't catch me on a set of skis or on the office under the desk.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna
Go ahead, brother.
well, now that it's snowing, I still have to go out and get my vehicle's oil change and run some errands. But
Oh,
everybody,
well, that sounds like fun.
yeah, enjoy the rest of the show. Good talking to you guys. I will
Yeah.
see you soon.
Yeah, you can check out Old Man Logan on his podcast, and if you haven't checked it out, well, pimp your stuff real quick before you get out of here.
Oh yeah, the Old Man's Cantina. Every Tuesday, we try to stream some stuff here and there. We don't really have a schedule set for that. I know Bones, who was with the on the Escape podcast, him and I are thinking about setting up a podcast that is going to be sports related, because we're both baseball, basketball. Oh my God,
I'm
March
excited, man. Stroh's back-to-back World Series champ. Let's go.
This March Madness has been outstanding.
Yeah, it's been crazy, dude.
So we're thinking about setting up a sports podcast for all sports fans. But yeah, no, definitely come check us out. Old Man's Cantina every Tuesday. We go live 9 to 11, depending on how much bourbon I've had. And that'll be it.
I've been on there. We do drink some bourbon.
Yes, we do. All right, gentlemen.
Have a good one. Take care, buddy.
Peace.
All right, get your questions in. You got me and Carthagenicus here. Yeah, Gonzaga, baby. I just every time Gonzaga does well, I just get hyped. Let's go. in the World Baseball event was fantastic, man. I believe it's 9 to 11 East. I think it is Eastern. Right? Yeah, he's in New York, so it is Eastern time. So yeah, there you go. Science. So get your questions in. Make sure you put the word question for your actual question statement. We got people here. White Fly says, can you use Third Sister with Lord Vader and TW?
I mean, you
Yeah.
can. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah.
If you have Third Sister, why isn't she leading Inquisitors? Like,
Yeah.
full stop.
Yeah,
I have questions.
Yeah, I was like, why would you do that?
I
But
mean,
I guess I could see it if like you
Ninth Sister, yes.
Yes, not. But yeah, you definitely want to move Ninth Sister to the Vader squad.
Well, and actually, it's perfect for Vader, to be honest, because you're getting your dark side UFA again, so you can easily take away Maul, which I know isn't the greatest. Lord Vader suffers heavily without having Maul against, especially fighting GLs, but having a free agent UFA that is gonna just take punches to the face, it's not a bad trade. Because then you still get your UFA. It means you still get your protection versus light side UFA damage. So Rey and JMK, I think you'll still be able to make it work because she is an annoying tank. She's got an AOE days. She's got she's got some decent durability to her, and you're already fairly heavily invested into her getting Reva. So you're gonna, and I mean the relic levels will pay off under Lord Vader, so I don't see any real downsides to it.
He says for 2 teams, you get 2 teams, and GI kills JMK already. Yeah, but this takes it to another level, dude. If you've not seen what Reva does to JMK, it's horrible. It's just
yeah, Reva deletes JMK.
Yeah,
like
and then
Third
that way,
Sister GI together deletes JMK because Third Sister lead gives 5 stacks of purge in any game mode. GI unique gives 1 stack of purge in any game mode. So they all start with 6 stacks of purge because it's unresistible. They can't get around it. Okay, so GI and TW, his unique time to die or ready to die, one of the two. Ready to die? I think it's ready to die. Basically ready to die. It allows him to instantly defeat a Jedi enemy. So if you're fighting a JMK on defense, if their tank is GK, which 98% of the time it is, you literally just get to delete GK right out the gate on your first turn and then go pile drive cat.
Yeah.
So it literally, and then she revives 3 times. So you don't have to worry about trading your tank. She literally just goes, oh, you put me down once? Well, full health and protection. I'm back up with a taunt, and I still have undying hatred.
Yeah,
so
and
it's like
and I agree with you. I mean, you can put Reva with Vader, but I just think, I mean, you still got 2 teams. You're just moving 9th over, and you can go if you want to keep Maul in there. You go shit. You can make it even really nasty. 9th with Royal Guard, Thrawn, Maul, and Lord Vader. You're going to kick the shit out of some things.
White Fly, GI only kills JMK currently under very specific modding strategies, very specific turn order, and a lot of
not guaranteed.
Luck. It's not guaranteed. And the only reason why it works right now is because of the stupid Omicron. Once that Omicron goes away and you don't get the bullshit coming back, the Datacron, once the Datacron goes away, you don't get the benefits for the Inquisitors and the Dispels and everything else. It's gone. Reva will take GI and the other Inquisitors to beat JMK reliably. Without a Datacron, without anything else, it'll win. But you need Reva. GI beating JMK currently is more about the supporting mechanics and not about the team. When Reva's in the lead, it will be her and her mechanics beating JMK. You'll do it almost regardless of the Datacron in play. So you would be absolutely just pissing away Reva on a Lord Vader team. You'd be better off sending Ninth Sister over there.
I agree. I just think it's an overall better play. Darth Rocky. Oh wait, Helly has a question. I missed that one. Oh wait, Max has a question. God damn, I'm getting behind here, dude. Question. Not sure if you answered this, but with the new raid coming, is anyone else surprised they didn't release a ship requirement? No, we didn't think ships were going to be involved with this. I don't think they want to put ships in raids, dude. I just don't think we don't
I
have,
think I think they do. They just need to figure out how it works because
right,
the problem with ships is there is no way to gate access. So that's the problem with ships. 7 stars is all there is. So like every time we get ship events, it's the pilots they force us to gate. So with ship raids, they need a way to tune it because you can't make a raid more or less difficult when there is no static way to change the pilot.
right.
Based not the pilot, but the character. It's you have access at 7 stars. Okay, how do you change difficulty? Well, we make it impossible to play. Okay, well, I guess we're not gonna use that tier then. Like
I'm not gonna
it
spend
just
money.
it's hard to bounce around.
Yeah. Ellie, a question. If you discuss this already, if you're under NDA, please ignore this one. Any word on CG making a PC port of SWGOH? I'd take out my earpiece for the last 45 minutes. Hashtag work sucks. I've not heard anything on that front.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't think so either. Darth Raki question. How many months of mod depression do you think Jabba owners save each year with the Jabba mod rewards? Oh my God. The Smugglers Run 2. Jesus Christ.
Well,
That's ridiculous.
besides getting basically 2 6E mods every time that comes. Well, it's basically 4 a month because it comes around roughly every 14 days.
Yeah.
So it's twice a month that thing shows up. So you're looking at. I mean, you're looking at severe advantage there, but then it's all the fucking the reroll materials, right?
Yeah,
It's all
those things.
attenuators.
So, yeah.
You're getting 60 a go, so that's 4 rerolls per at the 15, or 2 at the 25s, or 1 at the 40s.
Yeah.
If you so choose. But you're getting a lot of advantage on Jabba. Jabba is paying out dividends
Big time in everything.
and everything. Like I can't tell you how many people are like, well, is it worth going and getting this character before? No, Jabba.
Yeah.
Like TB aside, what Jabba is doing right now is giving players
Conquest.
tons of return on investment.
Conquest, the raid, this event. I mean, just it's stupid, man.
Ray Rock, there's no sim for the Smuggler Tier 1 event. You still have to play it.
Yeah. But it's worth doing, man. I mean, Jabba is, yeah. Those rewards are stupid, and I'm saving all my rewards right now. But I've saved enough mod stuff right now, Karth, because I'm waiting for well, we got Afro around the corner, right? Because I'm almost done with 000. He's 36 out of 100. Then I just have to farm Sana up. But I'm mainly focused on the Cal team, and I'm just saving because I've got the mods on them. I just can't take them up higher because they're only gear 11, right? So I'm just hoarding all that mod stuff. Dude, as soon as I do, they're going to 6A, dude. That's how much material I've been banking on this with this crap. Unbelievable how much.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the other day, and because we did this I did the smuggler event, and I would just farm. I went to farm like I normally do for the mod material. I'm like, wait, when did I get this many? Oh shit, I forgot. It's like, oh my God. So yeah. Oh, you're getting there, Ray Rock. It'll be worth it. Job is a phenomenal GL. He's so good. They did a great job of balancing him. And he's going to be needed for the raid. He's going to be, awesome in the raid too.
Yeah, you can't. It's one of these teams where it's like they learned their lesson for where they screwed up on Inquisitors, man. I tell you what, it goes to show you a little bit there that when you want to make characters integral to part of what we got to do, they played Jabba a lot better, and the Hutt Cartel faction as a whole, than they did Inquisitors, because Inquisitors were they just weren't good enough, man.
No.
Like you could not torture me hard enough to convince me that the Inquisitors prior to GI was a team worth having. And even with GI, it's still
heavy investment.
A heavy investment for an A team counter, and then even further into that is that they sold them as, a Jedi counter in TW, and then nope.
No.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I get where you guys were coming from, but you just oversold the product by a lot. If you'd been far more reasonable about it, I think it would have been fine. People wouldn't have gotten so caught up in the minutia shenanigans of giving a care.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
you know,
but Job is a different story, man. What a great character.
yeah.
Just an absolutely great character. Great GL, has high value everywhere. So yeah, we've been telling people when I've been doing roster reviews, if you're not currently on it, people ask, I've done this, done this. What about Job? I'm like, yeah, go for Job. It's great, dude. Go, yeah, go get him. It's great.
Yeah. If you're done with your current farm, Jabba should be your next, like every day
Absolutely.
of the week.
Buddy's up there barking like an idiot because, well, that's what Buddy does. That's that bark is the I want attention from Uncle Ranger bark, and he ain't getting it because I'm streaming, and then I'll go up there and then, he'll be all excited. Unless one of my mom's friends is over, maybe Aunt JoJo came over. Yeah, I don't know if Jabba was a quiet release. I mean, when he was announced, I mean, hype was on that was Carth. I remember the hype on Jabba. It was pretty, I mean, for those that
The only part about Jabba's release that sucked was the fact that two of the characters were not
yes,
farmable prior to his release.
yes,
But I understand why CG did it, and I'm relatively okay with it. Not because of the fact that it was a money cash grab. You can say whatever you want. Look at the hard facts of it. Any player who was not going to wail on the characters, any one of them, it didn't matter if he dropped when he did or when the characters were farmable. It wouldn't have changed how you acquired him because you would not have gotten him until those characters were farmable. The only thing you missed out on was the 3 weeks he was in the game prior.
yep,
And most of the players in the game at the top end of the spear are gonna be more catered to getting things out. They're either have the crystals hoarded to shipment farm the character anyways, because we knew Jabba was coming. They did not hide that fact. It wasn't like, oh, here's Bausch. Oh, here's Lando. Oh, here's Chrysanthemum. What could these possibly be leading towards? We don't know. Oh, Jabba's here. Jabba's in the game. Okay, farm those characters now. Like, no. It was I wouldn't say well done. I would just say it was a telltale sign of what they knew was going to happen. You were not going to be first in line, regardless of when that character was farmable, because you needed to farm it, whatever.
mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that mentality of CG because A, it gives some advantage to the people who keep this game afloat, and B, it gets the things out on time. We're not waiting for the 90 days for characters to go farmable. I mean, that's what we're gonna have to do with Cal Survivor. Cal is gonna have to wait till all 5 marquees drop. They're doing it every 2 weeks, unless we get a dump of the last 3 all at the same time, which is not gonna happen. We are gonna be into May before we get the last character. Just the facts. So the last character is May. You got to wait roughly 60 days before we get the event, right? Like that's just how the math plays out. So we're going to be well into June and maybe possibly even July before we get Cal Survivor. So it's just, there are things about that are nice, but I would be happier to have Cal sooner. But it means like we're another 2 road aheads before we get the new mission in TB. We're going to be almost 7 months into TB before we get anything to change it up. So
Yeah.
It is what it is. But again, this is the perspective of somebody who's playing at a much different end of the spear than probably most of the players. So
Yes, indeed. Helly, the most serious question one could ask ever. All right, here we go, Karth. Has everyone shamed the like button? Shamed the like button? You mean slammed? It's a shaming shit. What are you shaming the like button for? Karthik, I need you to go shame that like button.
I shamed it.
You shamed it? You shamed it hard?
Shamed it real
It
good.
was so hard. Wi-Fi, that's what I meant. Not a lot of mystery like the other GLs. No, we kind of knew what was coming. Before those characters were coming in, we had speculated on which GL would come out. We were saying either Leia or Jabba. But once we saw Bougie and stuff, we were like, okay, yeah, there's no mystery here. Building a mystery. Oh, a lot of people are shaming the like button right now. They're shaming it. Shame that like button. You make it, you put it in its place. You humble that like button. Tim Helly. I think he meant slammed, but he put shamed. Must be busy times for Helly at work. You shamed it on both accounts. Thank you, LBC Rob. You're a good friend. Good way to shame that like button. Oh God. Sopper98. Well, farming SLKR then right into Java. I don't think I want to do. No, you'll get the benefits out of that Sopper. Well, SRKR is just a fantastic GL just overall. So good in so many modes. Just a great GL. And then going into Java, I'd love it. If you did that, I would be like, yeah, let's do it. Dave says, I told the like button exactly what I think of it. It cried. Yeah, she shamed it really hard, Karth. She shamed it so hard. Ellie says, goddamn phone keyboard. That was supposed to be schmished. Nobody cares. Says, like Finn, the like button did nothing wrong. Well, from a certain point of view, I disagree.
Finn did everything wrong.
Scott, have you ever made the sheen be with? Okay. What else? I shamed it all night long. Gimme baby, gimme baby one more time. It's a slammed, I believe. Did already. Good day, scares. No, you're supposed to shame it, Kimmy. According to Helly, we need to shame the like. Yeah, the old phone keyboard. Yeah, I know. Or autocorrect. You ever see those things where you see text messages where someone just hits the wrong button and autocorrect goes in? It's so good. Well, if you want to go both Rebens after SLK, that's a fine play. A stopper, yeah. I don't, yeah. If you, I wouldn't be mad at all. SLK and the two Rebens into Jabba, that wouldn't be a bad play. Right, Card? That'd be good.
It'd build out your teams.
Yeah.
But both Revens is as big of a farm as a GL. Just gonna throw that out there. Not gear wise, but if you want to take both Revens into Malik, which I'm assuming that's where you're headed because Darth Revan is dog shit without Malik.
Yeah.
That means you might as well just take them all to Relic 1.
Yep.
At the minimum. And so it's like you're getting pretty close to a Jabba farm. But I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah,
the characters are far easy to farm for shards. They're far easier to get for gear because they're older. And you can kind of pick and choose a little bit. It's still going to be as heavy on the Zetas because the two Revens are both 3 Zetas apiece. So that's still 1 Galactic Legend worth. And then you still need another half dozen Zetas across the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, no, left, right, center.
No wrong answer here.
Well, yeah, but Sopper, I'm pretty confident Jabba's going to be the better raid team for Crate.
Yeah.
Unless you're closer to the Revens, then go nuts.
Yeah, go nuts. Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if you did that.
Yeah, if you want to do the Revens, that's fine. I'm only here to be a complicated question to answer.
What else in 3 question? What other Ewok besides Wicket will we need for GLA? I feel Poplo or Logo are the top. Oh, they're going to at least
try all the named ones.
Yeah.
Actually, I guarantee you, it won't be Logray and it won't be Scout. Yeah. And you want to know why I guarantee you that? Because they're the ones that you need at high relics for the TB. And I can't see them doing that, giving us such good graces. Oop, who am I fighting? I didn't check. Shit.
I'm a Jim Cornett guy. What a great name. So this question. Ray is the only GL that I'm missing, and I'm a fair distance away. Currently, I'm on the Inquisitor path. In y'all's opinion, after finish Inquisitor, should I go for Ray or Cal Afra? That's a tough one.
Afra, no.
No. Cal, that's a different story.
Cal, it 100% depends on what you need for your account to do. If you want to be more TB focused, or if you have like the supporting faction, because that's the other thing with it's every time we go down this road with any of these legendary characters that are a little bit the marquee characters are designed to support other factions.
Yeah.
The question becomes, do you have the rest of that support? So it's like with Cal, do you have the UFA stuff that you can use Seer with their own team? Are you going to be able to utilize, the new Seer and Cal team? Are you going to be able to use?
You have your Fulcrum up.
Sounds like you have JML, so that's Cal Survivor's got a home.
Yeah.
If you got we just don't know basically we don't know the other three, but we know kind of where they're headed. We have Marin, who's probably going to help the Night Sister faction. We have Saw, who's probably going to help the Rebel faction. Probably specifically the Rebel Fighter faction.
Kill me, Carthage.
And then we have Tarful, who's going to support the Wookiees. That's going to be TB guaranteed. Rebel Fighter, I don't know if it's going to be TB or TW or left, right, center. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. So that one's going to be a hard one to say on what's the best option there. Afra, I feel like once her Kron falls away, she's just not worth the farm. Hondo is great with or without anything else, so you might want to just pick up him specifically and let everything else kind of fall around. You don't really need the rest of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm so
I would say, and I guess the other thing is, do you have Ben solo? Because if you have Ben,
then Ray's kind of important.
Ray is a good team. And now with they're finally giving the Resistance the First Order treatment after 3 years. With Zori in the game now, likely we're probably gonna get her Y-Wing in the next
couple
months because she should go farmable here soon. No Ben Solo, okay. The Resistance faction isn't as bad to invest in as it used to be. It's come up quite a few ticks. Yeah, so in the time frame it might be worth it, but I would say how far away are you from Ben is the better question, because if you can get them both in the same time frame, then you're fine. But like Ray without Ben isn't like the team is like detrimentally worse. It's just it's easier to it still has the same counter, C just comes in and screws with it. But
yeah, I would say slow farm your Dr. Afra other than Hondo. I agree with Carthage, everything he just said. And then go for Cal, and then once you get closer to Ben,
so you're fairly close to Ben. You're a couple proving grounds away. Sure. By the time I would honestly, my opinion would be if you can utilize the Cal characters for Cal Survivor, I would go work on them between, because they're super low gear requirements for the event. But if you're not gonna be ready by July, you're gonna have to wait until they come back sometime in the fall. But that might not be a bad shout to go in between, and then I would do Ray. But Afra, unless she gets a good tank.
Oh, he's for close her team. On Ben. Oh, he's only 275 out of 330. Oh shit, yeah. Ray.
Are on level. Okay. I mean, I would go for Cal in between, but I would go for Ray before I go for Afra. Afra really feels lackluster to me because the team has its one trick pony that is incredibly easy to abuse.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you do this thing called gaining 100% turn meter. Wouldn't it be weird if you just couldn't do that? Like, it's just it's kind of dumb, the teams that can abuse her mechanics. And then again, there's no tank for the squad. So at least no pre-taunting tank. So a lot of teams that can get out there and get in front of her, or at least stop her turn meter and then deal with her, usually win fairly easily.
First Order they get ahead of that and they can get turn meter. It just eats it alive. So what else in their question is Cal with Ray and Ben going to be as good in 5s versus how good it was in 3s, and who would you put with that team if you did? Well, who do you want to add to those 3? Or are you planning on Karth adding to the 5v5 Ray team with Cal?
I mean,
Ben? A lot of options.
There are a lot of options. I'm assuming you're gonna want to run, because I'm not memorizing the kits right now because I'm not taking them beyond 5 stars, so I don't have it committed to memory yet. I want to say that Cal does have UFA. Yeah, you're probably going to want to run like at least JTR there, and then maybe Holdo or like RTD2 BB8, or if you have, I mean, in TW, of course, you're going to want to run Fulcrum.
Yes.
because that team is just stupid nutty. But in GAC, you'll probably want to run um, either a support or an actual taunting tank. Holdo's kind of annoying for that, especially at decent relic levels. But Cal's unique benefits UFAs. You could theoretically do Stick Ray, but she's made of paper, so she's a hard.
Yeah, I like JTR better.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that
well, you
combina-
could do
yeah, and-
both.
yeah.
You could do both of them and have a full UFA
Oh
team.
yeah, you could.
But I don't see Stick Ray doing enough. I mean, you would need to mod her really well. She actually is one of the faster resistance characters.
Yeah.
And with Cal, they might get to dealing some decent damage. But I don't know. I would say that I would probably lean in GAC, probably leaning towards having like Holdo, there as a way to kind of heal and taunt.
Yeah.
In TW, I would go full offense and throw down the Omicrons on Cal and Fulcrum, and then just watch my opponent get shredded by Fulcrum. But
Yeah.
now I guarantee you, when people start getting Seer up, Fulcrum's heading to Seer.
Yes.
And if Fulcrum's heading to Seer, Cal's going with her.
Yeah, because that team's going to be dynamite.
Yeah. Well, it's the amount of buffs.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When Fulcrum hits a dozen times for 80k a pop,
You're going to murderize something. Yes.
That team's going to murderize GLs. Because so it's that's the one thing why I know they did the Cal Omicron the way they did was 100% to tie those two in tandem. Yep. Because Cal, without Seer, there's no good leader, right? But with Seer, there's a great leader. So it's like, all right, so you want Fulcrum to go under Seer. Okay, great. And then, but if you want Fulcrum's Omni to be active, you need a Cal. So then you got to bring it together. So they kind of pinned it in enough to where you kind of have to play by their rules.
Star sign question. I farmed the light side card tech as it helps me get solid for relics and buy only the dark side card tech from the guild event store. Given the huge bottleneck of card techs, what is the panelist method? I don't even bother with the
same. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty much all you can do. I mean, the biggest thing is the shock prods are way more needed than the other one.
Yeah, because everything is always 50-50 until the finisher.
Yeah.
The finisher is always 100 of 1, and it like 70% of the time is the shock prods. Yeah. And then the other
I've got over 1,000 of those, but I've only got like 400 of the Cartex, and the drop rates are awful. I mean, you get them from when you do all your dailies, and you get them from events and stuff, but it's the shock prods, man. Card. Yeah, and they go by quick. When you do like all these new characters, they're going to be gone like that.
Well, when you're dumping 300 Kairos a run on a character just to get him to gear 12, let alone like, because I still need 100 Kairos, because I've got all the new characters since Chieftain. They're all sitting there at gear 11, 5 stars.
Yeah,
you know, that's still 400 Kairos, of which I'm not certain of, because I'm too lazy to care. But it's just one of those things where it's like you're gonna have to dump, and I feel like the long run of it is that you're just gonna farm them where you can on the nodes, and then buy them where you can, and then just stockpile. You just got to be really careful on where you spend your Kairos. That's just the main thing. It's just don't level up a new character all willy-nilly unless you can spare the Cairo, past gear like 7, that's going to be the thing to consider.
Congrats, Sopper. He says Ranger OG Kala is now relic 6, one more relic to go, and he's done. Very nicely done, sir. Hele, another question. You can skip if you already covered it. Any update on CG giving us more gear 12 right side pieces? Allow us to unlock relics quicker. No. Nothing.
The new raid is probably going to be my guess of what they're going to do some of that through, because it's going to. The new raid is a great way of doing raids, by making them faction specific. I expect them to pump out raids faster.
Yes.
I'm expecting to see one at least once a year at the minimum, which gives us time to gear up the characters. But like, if you want to be crushing the raid, if you want to be crushing that, you're gonna need the 5 teams, probably R5 or higher.
Yep.
So it makes sense in my head to give rewards that help people push up that level, because you're gonna need these teams at high levels. So I'm assuming, because I mean, like the new TB, its rewards are fairly decent, to be honest. I mean, the
Yeah.
gear 12 plus stuff is fairly good. You know, it's we're running it constantly. So I mean, you're bringing that up, which is good for breaking down stuff for relic materials if you already got your characters to gear 12 or gear 13. But it's you know, it's just one of the things where it's kind of, yeah, it's solid. They can definitely improve it, but I mean, CG, until they create a massive bottleneck in relics that affects the entire player base, not just the people at the top, I don't see them speed tracking people getting to relics.
Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. Last call for questions. We're going to start wrapping it up. So, and then I love this part of TB, Karth, because we just sit there and deploy. It's like, okay, let's get our last stars. Let's
No joke.
The first couple phases for Karth, my God.
Well, yeah, phase 2 and 3 suck for me because it's just nonstop babysitting. But then phase 4, 5, and 6, and even phase 1, it's just like, woo! Phase 4, 5, and 6 are amazing because it's like we massively have more than we need.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and then it doesn't even matter if I even I told Maddie on this one, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
You're welcome, Mom and Jim Cornette, guys. This thanks you, gents. I really appreciate you both. Thanks for hanging out, Jim. And hope we gave you some good answers there. Ryan Gets Real says, howdy, Scooters. Better late than never. Ryan Gets Real writes precisely what he means to Photo Dragons. And he says he just unlocked GI and got a Reva shard. So yay, hey, congratulations on that, Ryan. Hey, Ragga. Oh, it's Psycho Drones. My YouTube is switched for some reason. That's all right, Psycho. We know who you are, Ragga. Hey, Ragga.
It depends what he changed his account to, because the account name will sometimes come through from your Google stuff.
Yeah. We got you, Psycho, and congratulations, my friend. All right, final call for questions. You got a minute or so, and we're going to wrap it up because I got a lot of work to do. I got to show you, Karth, all the funny shit I'm doing. You're going to love it. We'll do that when we get done here. So I've got a lot of work this weekend. That's why there's no lore video. We're taking a break this week because I got to get everything ready for next week, because I'm going to be, once I get everything up and running, we're going to be doing a Twitch full time. But I still have some stuff to get done, so I'm trying to get it done this weekend. Have everything in place. I'm sure I'll have some bugs and stuff when we go full time. Yes, Desi has seen it. She says it's dang funny. You damn right it is. It's really good. You're welcome, my fly. Always glad to have you guys here. This is what we do in the Jedi Academy. We sit here and we answer your questions in our drunken stupor. Me more than others after 19 shoeies. That was, man, shit was off the chain last night, Karth. You contributed. That was the one I didn't expect, was you to betray me. That was like,
well, I mean, in fairness, it felt like it was a good time. I'd waited
really
the
was.
entire stream to do anything.
God, it was like, that came out of nowhere. It's like, Karth, now!
Yeah, I'd had it the stream on the background, but I was in and out because my dad's in town this weekend, and
Sure.
so we went out to dinner, and I came back, and I was just trying to, relax, and so it's like I'll keep it up for the viewership, but I'll sometimes just shut off the sound because there's just so much noise coming in. I'm like,
oh my God,
I can't unwind with that Heinzie Muppet talking to my ears.
Hey.
I just can't do it.
He's so funny. Oh, he's a hoot. We do have fun, Karth.
We do.
You've been on there. You've seen it. LBC Rob will finish with this. Says, yeah, you're more than welcome, Psycho. LBC Rob says, I'm almost done with my Lord Vader grind, and I have a capital ship quandary. I have 7 out of 14 executing with Profane. I am also slowly have all of Genlight recruitment plans on doing Jabba Center than like. Pick one or the other. I mean, if you're going to go executor, that kind of leads you to Jabba, doesn't it? You know, because of the bounty
Not
hunters. And
well, sort of, but
some tie
there's
over.
not much overlap. You just have a team at the end of the day. That's all.
Yeah.
You just have better bounty hunters. There's not a ton of overlap there. I would say. I mean, I would say that a 4-star profundity does better than a 4-star executor on offense, just because of how the mechanics function. Because like 4 or 5-star profundities will just mop the floor with an executor team. So if I had to choose between the capital ships, I would say profundity, but profundity is a guaranteed relic 9 investment.
Yeah.
LBC Rob, I just want everything.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta get out of that mindset, LBC Rob. Just pick a path. Stick to
Almost
the
have
path.
all
And
the
then,
genetic
yeah,
loop
you gotta.
requirements. I'm
Yeah.
planning on doing Java sooner than later. I mean, there's not much overlap with Rebels and doing and Jedi Master Luke. So I mean, it kind of depends a little bit on where you're at with that one, LBC Rob. But I mean,
Yeah, just pick.
I would if
Just
I had to pick
one.
a,
Yeah.
I would get one of those capital ships.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then move on to something else.
Yes.
Inquisitors, I wouldn't put on the
No.
top of the list because unless you're getting Riva, there's no strong push for that. And I would say right now, Jabba's the better GL to get than
Most.
JML if I had to
Yeah.
choose between the two of them.
Yeah, great.
Because just what Jabba's bringing to your account will give you a lot more development skills, or not skills, but materials.
Pieces, yeah, and because it'll make your JML grind even easier with all the rewards. and
So
stuff you get with Jabba.
I would say I would go profundity JML, and then maybe profundity Jabba,
Yeah.
Star Killer, and then at that junction evaluate
yeah.
where you're at, because you would either need to go back to JML because now that you've got Kyle, it makes sense to get the Mothma and stuff going, or I would go back to Executor because you need to have the meta fleets. Even at low stars, you gotta have them.
Stopper question once, and this will be the last question, guys. And God damn it, Bobby, what are you doing in there sniffing that propane? God damn it, Bobby Samuel. Last question we're gonna do. Sopper question. Once I unlock SRKR, defense or offense? Currently, I'm in Carbonite. Oh, you can do both. With him, if they, depending on what GL they have, you can put him on defense and screw him. He's much better on offense. OKR. I mean, at lower levels, he can be really nasty on defense, but he's still good on offense. You can take out so much shit with him.
In Carbonite, yeah. If they don't have the hard counter to Jabba, which is like Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi Knight Luke, and then a couple other different things, then I would just throw it on defense as a giant FU. But if they do have that, or they have JML, or they've got their own GLs to counter it, then at that point I would just keep it for offense and smoke their board.
Yep, smoke their ass. All right, with that, we're gonna call this one done. Sorry you got here right, but the good thing is you can go back and listen to it for Bobby and everybody that got here late. God damn it, Bobby. But you can come back and and listen to the whole thing. So we've got had a great panel, and we answered a lot of questions. So you can go back and listen to this. Also check out the other straight stuff. We got the Star Wars Lore with Idiots. We just did the Mandalorian's Karth. You were part of that. That's out right now.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, that's right. You missed this one. That was
Wolfie
Boy. Wolfie
Yeah.
Boy. Mm. So yeah, it covered the Mandalorian. Sorry, Carson, you weren't there.
It's all right. It's all right.
But yeah, we're gonna take a break this week so I can get some stuff ready for Twitch. We'll be back next week with the lore stuff. And if you're a Patreon, think about coming to Patreon. It supports the channel and what we're doing. We've got the lore series on podcast form. You can check it out on Amazon, and you can check it out on Podbean. So that's there for you guys. Spotify is shitting the bed, and so is iTunes. One day I'll get them on there, but I can't make it work if it won't work. So you can check that out. We got the Star Wars, The Old Republic with the Boys. We are now on Corellia. Stab me, Carl. So you can go check that out. Again, there's plenty of content out for you guys out there. And so hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and get those notifications. And when these videos come out, we've got reviews for all the shows that are out there as well. So check out all that great content. And with that, join us in Discord. You're more than welcome, especially if you become a patron. You get your own VIP access in Discord where you can tag us, any of us at any time, and we'll be more than glad to answer any of your questions and hang out. And we're in there a lot of times, so feel free to abuse that. That's what it's there for. You can tag me, Karth, anybody, and if you've got a question, just hit us up and we'll get you squared away. People have really good conversations in there, and having that VIP access really helps out a lot. So supports the channel and we support you back for it. So there you go. With that being said, thank you for joining us on the Jedi Academy. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'm going to be up in my ass and elbows with streaming shit, but it'll be worth it. So everyone have a great rest of your day. We love you guys. Peace out, and we'll see you soon.